Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, it is April 4, which is an unlucky day because in Chinese the number 4 sounds like the word for death. So it's 4/4 Death Day, and it's kind of appropriate given how I feel. I am feeling very bogged down by all the ups and downs that entail going back to the dating scene, right? It's hard to explain. There's nothing wrong with what I'm doing. There's nothing wrong with any of the dates involved, but the ups and downs of uncertainty and and what to do next and all that have been really weighing down on me, and it's creating a resurgence of my eating disorder, a resurgence of other problems in my life, anger problems, and eating disorders really rile up my anger. I had a situation a couple weeks ago when I was still living with my old roommate. What had happened is that I had a roommate who was a borderline alcoholic, and he had been very upset that about something. I won't go into the details here. We had a disagreement about something, and he was upset, and I thought we had settled it down. Let's just put it that way. I come home and I was already ready to eat, and he couldn't let go of the upset, and then he accused me of smiling about the whole thing. Why are you smiling? And normally I would have patience to talk it over with him, but that day I needed my food. And I said, I'm not. And he couldn't let it go. He says, you're smiling right there. And I told him, I waved my hand and said, look away from me then, please. And it created a lot of anger, as you can imagine. Normal times, something about food causes me to turn into this merciless monster for some reason. Something about food cravings will do that to me. Normal times, I would never dream of interacting with somebody like that. And so that's what I mean by eating disorder. See, a lot of people, when they hear eating disorder, they think this person is overweight. They think they eat a lot of food. No, you can eat a normal amount of food and still have an eating disorder. It's how you interact with the cravings for it. It's how you interact with your relationship with it. A lot of people don't seem to understand that. And unfortunately, my recent situation with my returning to networking has really riled all of that up. It's like putting it on steroids. Way worse than a few years ago. I just got a bad performance review at work, and I know why I got the bad performance review. I was getting ready to see a girl in Texas. I had been using a dating app, and I met a girl in Texas. We had some good conversations. Getting ready for the trip, and I lost sight of when my performance review was going to be. I teach at a community college. Every semester, my boss sits in on one class. I lost track of the date of the review, and I forgot about it until literally 5 minutes before my boss came in. And unfortunately, that has been the routine for me these last couple of months. I wish we talk so much about work-life balance. I literally had to change something. We have an orientation, or not really an orientation, but first day of class. We have this a packet of slides, and just uh, uh, our school values and all that. They had a slide about work-life balance, which is really nice. But in the work-life balance, they showed all these happy families on vacation. They showed a pregnant woman, which is all very good. But they forgot about the dating life. I had to add a couple of pictures in there, and I don't know how my boss felt about that. And so I didn't really explain that. Nobody really asked me, and so it just sailed. But that's how I feel. It's really insulting that work-life balance only applies to people who are lucky enough to be on that side of things. Anyway, um, but I am very stressed, and not in a negative way. It's just right now as I speak, it almost feels like I have a minor flu kind of symptoms, almost like when I had COVID-19. It almost feels like that. And unfortunately, this is a COVID-19 that doesn't just resolve in 2 weeks. This is one that has lasted months. And part of the reason, about the whole dating scene, I have a feeling about something, and most of my viewers can leave comments. I recently, to my surprise, one of my former students wanted to go to the school carnival with me, and she's not really appropriate dating material, but I used it as an opportunity to practice and potentially network. And in the past, I've had good fortunes with some of my coworkers too. Now, why do I have such good fortunes with people that I work with or my former students? I think it's because I don't make good first impressions. I make good connections if I have the opportunity. If somebody is forced to see me, right, like a colleague or a student, in given time, I think I can make a good impression. I don't make good 5 minute impressions. That's the problem. That's why I can't ask somebody out on a date in 5 minutes. But given somebody who is forced to spend 5 months with me, I can usually do it, right? So I need a culture that, see, I missed my chance, right? When I was a kid and going to school, I had more opportunity. I had plenty of people who were forced to have an audience with me, right? All right. So, anyways, I'm going through a little bit of an illness because of this.